As we grow older, slowing down and spending less can lead to greater happiness. Life offers us the chance to step back and reflect. It's an opportunity to embrace a slower pace, find meaning in simplicity, and create a life filled with joy and contentment. For those of us in our golden years, adopting a slower, less materialistic lifestyle can be one of the most liberating and rewarding choices we can make. Living a slow life, spending less, and finding happiness aren't just lofty ideas. They're practical steps toward a life of freedom and peace. Let me guide you through this transformative journey, drawn from years of experience and the wisdom of hindsight. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. The burden of consumerism. As we grow older, life provides us with a clearer lens through which to view the world. We begin to see through the clutter, noise, and expectations that once dictated our choices. Among these revelations is the realization of how deeply consumerism has woven itself into the fabric of our lives. For decades, many of us worked tirelessly to provide for our families, believing that acquiring possessions was a measure of success and security. However, now, as we stand on the shoulders of time, we see the burden that consumerism has placed on us, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. Consumerism thrives on one powerful narrative: the belief that we are incomplete without more. It whispers to us through advertisements, store shelves, and social pressures, urging us to buy that better car, the latest gadget, or yet another piece of furniture to make our homes look just right. It tells us that happiness is just one purchase away. Yet with every purchase, we feel fleeting joy that fades quickly, replaced by the same hollow desire to consume once again. What we often fail to notice in the moment is the cost, not the price tag, but the cost to our time, peace of mind, and relationships. The hours spent earning money to pay for things we may not need, the stress of debt hanging over us, or the time lost with loved ones because we were too busy chasing a lifestyle that promised fulfillment, but rarely delivered. These costs often reveal themselves only later in life when we have the time and wisdom to reflect. Think back to the many possessions that have come and gone in your life. How many truly brought lasting joy? How many are still meaningful today? The truth is, while some objects hold sentimental or practical value, most are simply clutter, stuff that fills our homes, clutters our lives, and in many ways weighs us down. This realization can be liberating. It invites us to question the narrative of consumerism and to redefine what success and happiness mean for us personally. It challenges us to let go, not just of material items, but of the beliefs that tie our worth to what we own. It allows us to step off the relentless treadmill of more and rediscover the freedom of enough. As we age, the burden of consumerism becomes even more pronounced. The energy we once had to keep up with the demands of buying, maintaining, and upgrading begins to wane. Our priorities shift, and the value of simplicity becomes clearer. We realize that the things we own can either serve us or enslave us, and the choice is ours to make. The beauty of this stage in life is that it's never too late to change. We can begin to shed the weight of consumerism piece by piece and make room for what truly matters: experiences, relationships, and the quiet joy of living simply. This is not an easy shift. Decades of habits and beliefs don't dissolve overnight. But with every step toward simplicity, the load becomes lighter, and the path forward becomes clearer. Choosing to step away from consumerism isn't about rejecting all possessions or denying yourself comfort. It's about being intentional. It's about asking, does this add value to my life? Does this bring me joy, or is it just another thing I'm told I should have? The answers to these questions can guide us toward a life that feels more authentic and less encumbered. Imagine a home with only the items you truly need and cherish. Imagine mornings free from the pressure of keeping up with trends or appearances, a life where your time and energy are spent not on managing things but on nurturing relationships and pursuing passions. This is the gift of breaking free from consumerism, a lighter, freer, more fulfilling life. The burden of consumerism may feel heavy now, but it's a burden we don't have to carry forever. By choosing to let go, spend less, and live more intentionally, we open the door to a deeper kind of happiness, one that can't be bought or sold, only discovered. And in that discovery, we find the true wealth of a life well lived. 2. Letting go of excess. In the rhythm of our daily lives, possessions quietly accumulate, often unnoticed. Over the years, we have filled our homes with things that once seemed essential, items purchased on impulse, gifts received but rarely used, or objects kept out of sentimentality rather than necessity. While each of these items carries a story, the weight of holding on to them can grow heavier with time. Letting go of excess is not about denying your past or discarding memories. It's about freeing yourself from the unnecessary. Every object we own takes up space, not only in our homes, but in our minds. A cluttered home often mirrors a cluttered heart, making it harder to focus on what truly matters. When you choose to let go, you're not losing, you're making room for peace, clarity, and a simpler way of living. Start small, perhaps with a drawer that's overflowing or a closet filled with clothes you haven't worn in years. Hold each item in your hands and ask, does this still serve me? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, let it go with gratitude for the role it once played in your life. With each item released, you'll feel a sense of lightness, as though you're shedding layers of a burden you didn't realize you were carrying. This isn't an overnight process, nor should it be. Decluttering is as much an emotional journey as it is a practical one. Some things will be easy to part with, while others will tug at your heartstrings. Honor those feelings, but don't let them hold you back. Remember that memories aren't stored in things, they live within you, in the stories you tell and the love you share. As your space becomes less crowded, something magical happens. You begin to see and appreciate the items that remain. The teacup that reminds you of mornings with a loved one, the well-worn chair where you've read countless books. These are the treasures that truly enrich your life. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you shine a spotlight on what does. And it's not just about objects. Letting go of excess extends to other areas of life. Decluttering your schedule, your commitments, and even your thoughts. A simpler home paves the way for a simpler mind, allowing you to focus on what brings you peace and joy. In this process, you'll discover that less isn't just lighter, it's liberating. 3. Spending less and gaining more. Money has a way of weaving itself into every corner of our lives. For much of our adult years, it feels like the central thread that holds everything together: our homes, our meals, our hobbies, our security. Yet as we grow older, we begin to see it differently. We come to understand that the relentless pursuit of more can leave us feeling less connected, less fulfilled, and less at peace. Spending less isn't about sacrifice, it's about choice. It's about deciding where your money goes and what kind of life it creates for you. When you spend less, you gain something far more valuable than what money can buy: freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from the anxiety of keeping up with others, and freedom to focus on what truly matters. Think of the countless things we buy, not out of need, but out of habit or pressure. A new gadget because it's better, clothes for occasions that never come, or items we think will make life easier but often complicate it. Each of these purchases takes a little piece of our financial and mental peace. Yet when we step back and reflect, we often find that the most meaningful parts of our lives cost little or nothing at all. When you spend less, you discover abundance in other forms. A walk through your neighborhood costs nothing but offers fresh air, exercise, and a moment to connect with the world around you. Sharing a meal with loved ones at home can be just as special, if not more so, than dining out. A day spent with a good book or tending to your garden enriches your spirit without draining your wallet. Spending less also brings clarity. It helps you distinguish between wants and needs, teaching you to value quality over quantity. When every dollar is spent intentionally, it becomes a tool for building the life you want rather than a response to fleeting desires. Over time, the act of spending less becomes second nature, a habit that brings not just financial security, but emotional and spiritual peace. The journey of spending less isn't about depriving yourself of joy, it's about redefining joy. It's about finding happiness in moments rather than in things, in connections rather than in possessions. As you walk this path, you'll find that your world becomes richer, not in material wealth, but in experiences, relationships, and the simple pleasures that make life truly beautiful. 4. the rewards of a slow life. There is profound beauty in slowing down, in stepping away from the hurried pace that often defines modern life. As we age, life gently invites us to embrace this slower rhythm, to savor each moment instead of rushing through it. But what does it truly mean to live a slow life? It's not about doing less but about doing what matters. It's not about empty days, but about days filled with meaning. In a slow life, ordinary moments become extraordinary. A simple walk in the garden transforms into an exploration of nature's intricate beauty, the softness of petals, the chirping of birds, the scent of the earth after rain. A cup of tea is no longer a rushed routine but a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect. These small acts, when noticed and cherished, become the fabric of a fulfilling life. Slowing down also brings clarity. In the quiet, we find ourselves again. The constant noise of obligations, distractions, and to-do lists fades away, revealing the things we value most. Perhaps it's the warmth of a grandchild's laughter, the joy of tending a garden, or the comfort of a favorite chair by the window. These simple pleasures, often overlooked in the rush of life, shine brightly when we take the time to notice them. A slow life doesn't mean a life without purpose. On the contrary, it's a life filled with intentionality. It's about choosing how to spend your days and who to spend them with. It's about dedicating your time to what brings you peace and fulfillment, rather than being swept along by external pressures. In this slower pace, you'll find that the days feel richer and more complete. Living slowly also allows us to reconnect with nature, with loved ones, and with ourselves. It creates space for meaningful conversations, for shared laughter, for quiet companionship. It reminds us that the most precious moments in life are often the simplest, and that true happiness comes not from doing everything, but from cherishing what we do. 5. Overcoming challenges. Choosing to live a slower, simpler life is not without its challenges. The world around us often pulls us in the opposite direction, urging us to do more, achieve more, and accumulate more. Society equates busyness with success, and stepping away from that narrative can feel isolating at times. But it is in this choice, this quiet rebellion against the rush, that we find our true strength. The first challenge is often mental. Slowing down requires us to confront our own habits, fears, and expectations. For years, we may have defined ourselves by our accomplishments, our possessions, or our ability to meet the demands of others. Letting go of these measures can feel uncomfortable, even unsettling. But it's also liberating. It opens the door to a new way of being, one where your worth is not tied to what you do or own, but to who you are. There's also the challenge of standing apart. Choosing simplicity can sometimes make us feel out of step with the world. While others rush to keep up with trends or chase after material success, we choose to walk a quieter path. This can lead to moments of doubt or loneliness, but it also offers an opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals who share our values. Communities of simplicity and mindfulness are growing, providing support, inspiration, and companionship on this journey. External pressures may also arise. Friends and family might not understand your choice to live differently. They may question why you don't want to upgrade your home, buy the latest gadget, or fill your calendar with endless activities. But remember, this is your life to live. Your choices don't need to match anyone else's expectations. Stand firm in your decision, knowing that it's bringing you closer to the life you truly desire. Despite these challenges, the rewards of a slower, simpler life far outweigh the difficulties. Each step you take toward this way of living builds resilience, clarity, and peace. Over time, the doubts and obstacles fade, replaced by a deep sense of contentment. You'll find yourself more connected to the present moment, more attuned to what truly matters, and more at ease with yourself and the world around you. The journey to simplicity isn't always easy, but it's worth every effort. With each challenge you overcome, you'll discover new layers of strength, wisdom, and joy. As you continue on this path, you'll come to see that the greatest challenge isn't choosing simplicity. It's wondering why you waited so long to embrace it. 6. Finding fulfillment beyond money. There comes a moment in life when we begin to understand that the greatest treasures cannot be measured in dollars and cents. For years, the rhythm of earning and spending dominated our days as we worked hard to secure homes, raise families, and enjoy the comforts of modern life. But as the years pass, it becomes clear that fulfillment lies not in the accumulation of wealth, but in the richness of experiences, relationships, and purpose. Money, while necessary, is only a tool. It provides for our basic needs, allows us to enjoy certain luxuries, and offers a sense of security, but it is not the source of happiness. True fulfillment comes from how we use that tool, how we invest in moments, people, and passions that feed our souls rather than merely fill our wallets. Consider the simple joys in your life: a quiet walk at sunrise, the laughter of grandchildren playing, the satisfaction of finishing a long-forgotten project, or the warmth of a heartfelt conversation with an old friend. These moments cost little or nothing yet are priceless. They remind us that the best things in life are often intangible: love, connection, peace, and purpose. As we age, finding fulfillment beyond money often involves redefining success. Instead of measuring life by material achievements, we begin to value time over things, quality over quantity, and depth over superficiality. We realize that a life well lived is not one filled with possessions, but one filled with meaning. This shift in perspective allows us to focus on what truly matters, perhaps spending time with family, pursuing a hobby you've always loved, volunteering in your community, or simply enjoying the beauty of the world around you. These are the investments that pay dividends far greater than any financial return. They enrich your spirit and leave a legacy of love and wisdom for those who follow. When you prioritize fulfillment over money, you also free yourself from the endless cycle of want. You no longer feel the need to chase the latest trends or keep up with others' expectations. Instead, you create a life that feels authentic and aligned with your values. This freedom allows you to savor the present moment and embrace the peace that comes with knowing you have enough. 7. Embracing gratitude and contentment. Gratitude is the quiet force that transforms our lives. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, opening our eyes to the abundance that surrounds us. In a world that often encourages comparison and dissatisfaction, gratitude reminds us to pause and appreciate the gifts of the present moment. Living with gratitude isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the beauty amidst the imperfection. It's about acknowledging the small, everyday blessings that we might otherwise overlook: a sunny morning, a kind word, the comfort of a favorite chair. These moments, though simple, are the threads that weave a life of contentment. Contentment grows from this practice of gratitude. It is not complacency, but a deep-seated peace that arises from accepting life as it is, rather than always striving for more. Contentment allows us to let go of the constant yearning for what's next, and instead, fully embrace the here and now. It teaches us that happiness is not something we find in the future, but something we create in the present. As we age, contentment becomes a powerful ally. It helps us navigate the inevitable changes and losses that come with time, offering us a sense of stability and resilience. When we cultivate contentment, we learn to celebrate what we have achieved, cherish the relationships we've built, and honor the life we've lived. We no longer dwell on regrets or unmet expectations. Instead, we focus on the richness of our journey. Gratitude and contentment also foster a sense of connection, to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. When we are grateful, we recognize the interconnectedness of all things. We see how the kindness of others, the beauty of nature, and the simple pleasures of life are all gifts to be cherished. This awareness deepens our appreciation for life and strengthens our relationships with those we hold dear. Embracing gratitude and contentment is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. It's the choice to begin each morning with a thankful heart and end each day with a sense of peace. It's the decision to focus on what is good and to let go of what no longer serves us. In this practice, we find not only happiness but a profound sense of fulfillment, a life that feels whole, abundant, and deeply satisfying. 8. A life without regrets. As we move through life, the weight of regrets can feel like shadows stretching behind us. But with age comes the clarity to see those shadows for what they are, not chains to hold us back, but reminders to live with intention and courage. A life without regrets is not one free of mistakes. Rather, it's a life where every choice, whether right or wrong, becomes a stepping stone toward growth, meaning, and peace. Regret often stems from the opportunities we allowed to slip away, the call we didn't make, the dream we didn't pursue, the words of love or forgiveness left unspoken. These are the moments that linger, not because they define us, but because they remind us of what truly matters. Yet regret need not be permanent. It can be a teacher nudging us to embrace the present with more openness and gratitude, urging us to act before the chance is gone. Living a life without regrets means facing the past with compassion and understanding. Forgive yourself for the times you stumbled or strayed from your values. See those moments as lessons rather than failures. Understand that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Carrying the weight of past mistakes only holds you back from experiencing the fullness of life in the here and now. To live without regret, begin by reflecting on what brings you the most joy and fulfillment. Is it the laughter of your grandchildren, the warmth of a quiet evening spent with someone you love, or the feeling of the sun on your face during a morning walk? Whatever it is, make space for those moments. Prioritize them, let them shape your days. Time, as fleeting as it may be, is still your most precious resource. Use it well, not to chase what others expect but to create a life that feels true to who you are. Living this way also requires courage. It means saying yes to opportunities that may feel uncertain but hold the promise of growth and connection. It means being vulnerable enough to repair relationships, to speak your truth, and to let go of what no longer serves you. These acts of bravery ensure that when you look back, you will see a life rich with love and purpose. Above all, living without regrets means embracing each day as a gift. It means recognizing that while the past has shaped you, it does not define you. What matters is what you do with the time you have now. By filling your days with gratitude, kindness, and intentionality, you create a legacy, not of possessions or achievements, but of memories, love, and wisdom. A life without regrets is not perfect, but it is authentic. It is filled with choices that honor who you are and what you value most. And when the end of the journey approaches, you will be able to reflect with peace in your heart, knowing that you lived fully, loved deeply, and left nothing unsaid or undone. That is the essence of a life well lived, a life where regrets dissolve into gratitude for the richness of the path you chose. Embracing the gift of a life well lived. As we journey through life, we come to understand that the true measure of a well-lived life is not in possessions accumulated or accolades earned, but in the richness of our relationships, the depth of our experiences, and the peace we carry within ourselves. Choosing to live a slower, simpler life, one focused on intentionality and gratitude, is not a retreat from the world, but an embrace of what truly matters. The path isn't always easy. It may challenge long-held beliefs, require us to let go of what no longer serves us, and ask us to redefine what success and happiness mean. But with every step towards simplicity, we find ourselves lighter, freer, and more at peace. We discover that the moments we treasure most are often the simplest: a shared laugh, a quiet walk, or the beauty of a sunset. As you move forward, remember that this journey is uniquely yours. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to a meaningful life. Trust your instincts, honor your values, and be kind to yourself along the way. Allow yourself the grace to make mistakes and the courage to keep going. When you reach the later chapters of life, may you look back not with regret, but with a deep sense of fulfillment. May your days be filled with gratitude, your relationships rich with love, and your heart full of peace. And as you reflect on your journey, may you say with confidence, "This was a life well lived." Life is fleeting, but its beauty is boundless. Spend less, slow down, and embrace the joy of each moment. Happiness isn't something to chase, it's something to create, one intentional choice at a time. In the end, what matters most is not how much we had, but how deeply we lived. Live simply, love deeply, and savor the gift of every day. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey towards embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.